All right, good evening, nerds around the world. Welcome to episode 162 of the Nerds Unite as One podcast. I am your host, Paul English, and as always, we have a fantastic show for you. As you can't expect every movie to be good. There have been plenty of stinkers out there that I'm sure we can all think of several. But every once in a while, you come across a stinker that you see potential in. You're like, I hope that gets a second chance because I see something really good in that movie. And that is exactly what we are going to be looking at today. We are going to be counting down our top 5 picks for films that bombed in theaters, but we feel deserve a second chance. And joining me for this countdown is our tremendous crew of regular sweaty nerds that you know and love. It's Colton, Jack. What's going on, boys?
Don't forget about Mike.
I was going to mention Mike from Geek Salad too, but I'm saving that.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to be
back.
Saving the best for last. I get it.
Yeah. Well, you're the one with the most, screen time. I mean, or voice time, really. How many episodes of Geek Salad have you done? 4,000?
Actually, we're coming up on episode 199.
Very impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hope we can get to that number. All right. So, guys, you all have your list. Let's not waste time. Let's jump in. Jack, let me come to you first. What's number 5 on your list?
I don't have a number 5. I only have 4.
Oh, jeez. Colton.
Okay.
Number 5 on your list.
Number 5 on my list is a movie that you probably wouldn't expect, but it's going to be Batman and Robin. After seeing the Lego Batman movie is proof that a funny Batman film can actually work. And, with all these dark adaptations of Batman, I think we kind of just need to sort of be reminded that, hey, he does have his lighter storylines every now and then. So I think it would be interesting to see someone sort of tackle the humorous Batman and Robin for a second time and actually make it, legitimately funny and not unintentionally funny like that mess of a film was, everything. I think there is a lot of laughs that can be had from the silliness of them, fighting Mr. Freeze and company on ice skates, or just how over the top the storyline can get. I think there's a lot that can work in addition to making the more dramatic scenes actually fit and not come across as tonally inconsistent and everything. I mean, the MCU has proven that it's very possible to match drama and laughs very well. So yeah, my pick number 5 is Batman and Robin.
If memory serves me right, forgive me that I've been on Iron Chef binge, but if memory serves me right, I believe it was proven that a successful comedic Batman movie could work. I believe that was called Batman 66. It was the Adam West Burt Ward film with Cesar Romero as the joke. That was pretty funny and I believe pretty good movie.
Sometimes you just can't get rid of a bomb.
No, some days you just can't. No.
Well, we need more. Okay, I forgot about that, but you're right. But we need more humorous Batman films, I think, because that was all the way back in that was all the way back in the 60s. So. So, the fact that we hadn't gotten the fact that, Batman's entire film history, there's only been 3 films that have ever tried to really be comedies and everything. So I'm like, hey, there's nothing wrong with a humorous Batman film, despite what everyone sort of believes.
Don't forget, it was a time when Russians drank hot chocolate. I don't know if they without putting vodka in it, because can't. All right, Mike, I'm coming to you. What's number 5 on your list?
All right, number 5 on my list is a movie that I saw in theaters and I did enjoy, but it didn't do nearly. I mean, oddly enough, it did get a sequel, but I don't think either one of them made any money, and that was Silent Hill. I mean, I am certainly not a horror movie guy, and I am certainly not a horror video game guy. I don't think I've ever played even any of the Silent Hill games, but I've read the storylines on Wikipedia, and there is definitely a deep mythology that they could get into, and I mean they could really make these movies into a trippy mind
mindfuck movie.
I was trying to keep it clean, but
this ain't Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Sorry. The last episode of Geek Salad, we made both a clean version and an adult version because Andy's daughter actually participated.
Oh,
Yeah,
fair enough. Fair enough.
okay.
So I'm still kind of on that
Yeah,
kick.
good call there.
Okay.
But no, I think there's a good movie in Silent Hill ready to be made.
Okay. All right. Number 5 on my list. And this is the one film that I have not seen, and I'm proud of the fact that I haven't seen it, and that is the Super Mario Brothers movie. Now,
That one was actually going to be on my list, but then I remembered Silent Hill.
the reason, and I actually think the Nostalgia Critic put it best as to why this movie failed, because when you get right down to it, Mario has no personality. It's a straight-faced hero saves princess from villain. There's no personality to these main characters of Mario or Peach or Bowser even. So why would I think it has potential? Because I am a huge fan of the Paper Mario games. And while Mario may not have any personality, the companions he picks up in those games certainly do, from Goombario to Bombette and Vivian and just so many amazing side characters. I think if they actually did an animated Mario television series a la a Paper Mario style and give the personality to the companions and the side character, I think that would actually make an impressive television series.
What about something based on Mario is Missing?
What's
Where you
that?
don't have Mario in there at all. Like Mario is Missing was a game that came out for, I want to say GameCube.
Luigi's Mansion?
No. It was actually called Mario is Missing.
Mario is
Oh.
Missing was for the NES.
Okay. But I mean, where that way you have all the companions that do have personality looking for Mario, and you don't have Mario in the movie at all.
Yeah, but then you can't really call it a Mario show. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the point? Yeah, I don't think it would fly too well. But yeah, I think a Mario based television show where you have the straight-laced hero hanging around the quirky companion, I think that could work. That might be something. So number 5 is Super Mario Bros. Movie. Let's try and give it a Paper Mario style TV show. All right, Jack. Now I guess we can come to you. What's number 4 on your list?
Well, I have a 5 actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Number
My
5
number
is?
5 is Assassin's Creed.
You
Good choice.
bum! You're gonna fuck with us like that? No.
My number 5 is Assassin's Creed, which is another video game movie that didn't do that well. And I think
That's
one of the
pretty nice.
biggest problems with that movie was they didn't base it on any of the game's story. They based it like in the game world, which a lot of people don't know. So I think if they wanted to try it again, they should base it more on the series of games and focus on those characters instead of doing their own side thing.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Colton, let me come to you. What's number 4 on your list?
Number 4 on my list is a movie that wasn't. I didn't hate it, but it didn't leave. It was more wasted potential, if anything, and that was Terminator Salvation. The Terminator series has been in a. It's no secret that the Terminator series has been in a very noticeable decline. I didn't even get around to seeing Dark Fate, but I feel like Salvation could have been an interesting rebirth for the series. It's like we're in the future war at last, so that could have really. I mean, I know that goes against like the main series' themes of averting destiny and everything, but nevertheless, I feel like we've never actually seen what the war was like. So seeing John Connor, finally being in the war and having to become the hero that he could have been, that he needs to be, and everything that was ripe for a lot of potential. And because it failed, then we got stuck going back to the drawing board with the same stuff with Arnold Schwarzenegger and everything. And no offense to him, but I feel like his character is just almost eclipsed the Terminator series to the point that it's actually bad for it and what have you. So I feel like just cutting him out, making it all about John and everything, focusing on the future war could really give the series the shot of life it needs to avoid extinct. Well, I think it's a little too late for it now, but it could possibly be saved if they went in that direction again. So number 4 on my list is Terminator Salvation.
Was that the Christian Bale one?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Mike, what's number 4 on your list?
And number 4 on my list was another video game based movie, Prince of Persia. For one, I don't think very white Jake Gyllenhaal should be the Prince of Persia. Perhaps a more accurate casting next time. And you know, did they ever actually play any of these games like these 3?
Mm-mm.
Those are some of the best Prince of Persia games ever. But you know what? Hell, just go back to the first one. There's a thin plot, so there's not much there that you can really take with. But that means there's plenty of freedom to do a brand new story and just set it in a Prince of Persia world. I mean, these games are all fun. They're all very ingenious, and they're just begging for an accurate adaptation. And I had a little bit of fun with that Prince of Persia movie, but it was a big wasted opportunity, and they really needed to get it right.
Okay. All right. Jack, what's number 4 on your list?
My number 4 is Daredevil.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that counts because that got a kick-ass adaptation on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not sure if we're gonna get that version of Daredevil back because it was like a Netflix thing. So Marvel may not. So if Marvel has to reboot it, I think they should reboot Daredevil, and hopefully it'll be better than the Ben Affleck movie.
Or they could just hire back, or they could just get the rights from Netflix and just bring back that cast, which would be what I'd want to see because those were fine shows. All right. So I actually made a mistake when I mentioned Mario's number 5 as the only film that I haven't seen because I have not seen number 4 on my list either. The closest I ever got to seeing it was a Nostalgia Critics review of it, and that is wait until I explain myself before you chastise me. Number 4 is Dragon Ball Evolution. Now, yeah, I did not see this film. Like I said, the closest I ever got was watching the Nostalgia Critics review of it. But there's been like, 17 Dragon Ball movies? And I'm pretty sure I own like all of them. No, there's been 17 Dragon Ball Z movies and 4 Dragon Ball films and a GT film. I mean, so the movies can work, and I do think, and 2 of them were shown in theaters. 3. There was Resurrection F, Battle of Gods, and Super Broly. I mean, so a Dragon Ball Z film can work, but it cannot work as a live action film. But where I do think it could work as an American animated film. Can you imagine that brilliantly colored environment and those characters designed in a style like an old school Disney animated film or a Bruce Timm DC animated film? That would look absolutely gorgeous, and their attention to character detail, I just think it would work. Do not make it live action again, but maybe an American animated version of Dragon Ball Z. I think that could work.
I paid movie money to see that movie.
Yeah, me too. Oh,
There's still be a lot more to work on to get it right, but yeah, doing Dragon Ball Z in live action was kind of doomed to fail because it looks so silly.
Yeah. Plus, Goku. Listen, the man is a genius when it comes to fighting, but if the world rested on him trying to figure out what 2 + 2 is, pack up and leave because the planet's fucked.
I mean, Goku he's not
Paul,
stupid. He has like base level knowledge, I think I'd say.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make, they tried to make him a high school student. Goku's never even went to school a day in his life.
That's what he got Chi-Chi for.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why she's so intent on Gohan studying.
It's weird. It's like they make a Dragon Ball Z movie about a character in high school. I'm like, gee, a character from Dragon Ball Z in high school. Where have we? Haven't seen that before, have we? The Great Saiyaman.
Paul, if you want to watch something funny, watch the honest trailer for Dragon Ball Evolution. One line from the trailer is Goku reacting, "I never went to high school."
Yeah,
all right.
I think we might need to see a Great Saiyaman film.
Hold on. I think we got something here. Oh,
Chris!
It's Chris Miller.
I think.
Is it?
We can't see him.
There he is.
Okay.
Hello, guys. Hello, guys.
Hiding in the dark.
Yes, I'm in the dark. Unfortunately. I just had to do. I mean, I just do one thing for a moment, but I will be back. I shall return.
All right, well, hurry back because you need to give us your list quickly.
Okay, all right.
All right, so now that we know Chris is going to be here, this will be even more fun. All right, but let's continue. So I just gave number 4. Yes, I think an American animated Dragon Ball Z movie would work. At least a good start. Okay, so let's go on to number 3. Colton, let me go to you. What's number 3 on your list?
All right. So I didn't see this movie. I saw a review of it by Dominic Noble of Lost in Adaptation, but I added it on my list because the fans of this series got so fucked over that they honestly deserve to get this movie done again and done right, and that is the adaptation of Artemis Fowl. It's like the people that made this film went out of their, from what I can gather, the people that made this movie went out of their way to make Artemis not be anything like he was in the book. It was like he's a hero antagonist in the first movie. Like he's not evil, but he's not good either. But they tried to make him more decent in the first movie, which goes against its entire character growth from what I can gather across the series, where he goes from antagonist to kind of good guy or whatever. So yeah, like. It always sucks whenever an adaptation just screws over the audience, and I think this is probably one of the biggest cases of this happening outside from, well, at least in this day and age, what have you. So yeah, Artemis Fowl, the fans need a do-over for that one, and soon. It's like they basically been screwed over worse than the Percy Jackson fans that have been, I think.
I have to confess something. I actually like the first Percy Jackson film. I think it's a fun ride. The second one's not all that impressive, but I thought the first one was fine.
I thought both of them had some good moments.
But I guess I'm in a minority on that. I mean, I never read the book, but I mean, you know. All right, Mike, coming to you next. What's number 3 on your list?
I actually own both of the Percy Jackson movies. They're not too bad.
Likewise.
Yeah, my next one has been mentioned before, but it's worth saying. I did not see the movie, but yeah, I love the franchise. Something Fierce, Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it. They wanted to go, do the time thing, modern time, past time. You know what? The modern time parts of the game have never been my favorite. Just stick to the past.
Mm-hmm.
Stick to the Assassins. Stick to the Templars. Do something really cool in the past. Do the stunt work, but you just don't bother with the Animus. You know what? It's a core part of the game. It's not necessary for the movie. You can make adaptations that differ from the original source material. It's possible. Just look at Civil War.
Yeah, the whole thing, the entire Assassin's Creed film was basically like a poor man's version of all the dynamics from the original game and what have you. And the weird thing is that they said it was supposed to be based on the game's world, but you wouldn't even know when this film took place or whatever. Also, how the hell do you waste Michael Fassbender in a story like this?
He deserves so much better than that. He's such a fantastic fucking actor.
The entire freaking cast did. I mean, we had him. We had
Marion Cotillard. We had Jeremy Irons. I mean, we had some big names.
Screw that up.
Yeah. All right, Jack. What's number 3 on your list?
My number 3 is a movie I liked, but it didn't do enough, and they never did a sequel. And I think it could work, and that's the A-Team.
The film with like Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Based on the '80s show.
I had some fun with that movie too. I own it. It's over there.
Yeah, I think it's been too long for a sequel, so they need to reboot it. And I think they could really work today with, but using more modern, weapons and vehicles and take it into the more modern world.
I wouldn't mind that as a TV series, to be honest. Hell, they rebooted MacGyver, and I'm surprised how much I enjoy that show. So I think an A-Team TV series actually could work pretty well.
I've actually seen a couple episodes of the original '80s show, and I'm like,
It's fun.
it's such a product of its era that it's funny in that way.
It's fun, but they could only shoot dirt. They could only shoot the dirt in front of the bad guys. They could never actually hit the bad guys.
Yeah. All right. So number 3 on my list is a film that has been mentioned plenty of times before, but I need to mention it too, and that is Assassin's Creed. Now, I did see this movie, and to say it was a convoluted mess it would be an understatement. The only reason I even understood half the shit that was going on there was because I played the damn game, and I played a good chunk of them. So imagine someone who's never played a game. How fucking confused were they? It was a pitiful. But the thing is, this game franchise is absolutely tremendous. The story of this war going on, the lore behind it is so rich in detail. And in all honesty, I think that was the biggest problem with the film, is that they couldn't cram the level of lore needed to make it understandable. So we could not understand what was going on. So I don't think this franchise can work as a film series. But a television series, on the other hand, say on HBO or Amazon, like what they're doing with Fallout, I think that could work. By the way, I'm cautiously optimistic that the Fallout franchise will work. I love that game too. All right. So something like that. So yes, Assassin's Creed, let's make it a television series and let's do this franchise justice. Okay.
I'm glad I saw that movie for free.
Yeah, I saw it for free too. Thank you, HBO. All right. So Colton, what's number 2 on your list?
Number 2 on my list was at first going to be Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, but then I decided that actually I changed it to Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Why?
Because they actually had the ingredients for a good film. It could have worked if it hadn't suffered from all the Michael Bay-isms. I mean, we have Optimus, losing his faith in humanity, all of the Transformers being hunted down by the government and everything. There was actual freaking potential there. But, of course, they got stuck with the usual stupid juvenileisms of the... What the... Did Mike's screen just... Okay. All right.
I'm just pointing out the fact that Mike is refusing to listen to you.
Mike, if you'll hear me out for 1 second, Mike, I was saying that there was a lot that could have actually worked if they dropped all the freaking Michael Bay-isms, or just, dropped Michael Bay himself, and all the dumb shit that was in the film would have probably not have been present. But alas, it was. And we all know how this film turned out. But I really wish we could have gotten. There was just. I don't know where I'm going with this. There was an actual chance. I had actual hope when I saw the trailers, and they just kept the movie like the trailers promised. We could have had something, but alas, we would have to wait.
One with the Dinobots.
Yeah, alas, we would have to wait 2 more movies before we finally get a decent live action Transformers film. But that's another story.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we got some vindication. Bumblebee was a solid film. I think we can all agree on that. All right, Mike.
I can't, because I never saw Bumblebee, because 1, 2, and 3 pissed me off so much.
Okay, listen, I get that.
It killed any interest I had in the entire franchise.
I get that.
I love that franchise.
I get that, and I agree with you on 2 and 3. 1 is okay. I can watch 1. 1's fun. 2 and 3 suck. You're right, but seriously, Bumblebee is very, very good. You owe it to yourself to watch it. When you get a chance, watch it. I promise you will not regret it. I swear it.
How can you not trust that face, Mike?
He's just like, fuck you all, I'm not doing it.
Because I was with him when he saw Rise of the Skywalker.
That's another story. A Star Wars movie almost made my list before I swapped it out for Artemis Fowl.
All right, Mike, what's number 2 on your list?
Number 2 on my list is my first non-video game-based movie. It's actually based on an anime. Guyver.
Now, that's the name
of that. Is that Donnie Darko Rabbit?
What?
Is that the fucking Donnie Darko Rabbit?
No.
Looks like him.
it's no, it's not. I have Donnie Darko. That almost made my list, but no. Guyver. It was I don't think either one actually got in theaters. I think they're both made for TV movies, but it's based on an anime about a guy who finds an alien suit of armor, and then he has to hunt down these creatures that are basically like giant monsters in disguise of humans. And it's really gory, it's really bloody, it's really action-packed, and it's really awesome. And the first one had Mark Hamill in it, and it wasn't any good. But Guyver 2 is actually a really solid movie. So solid, I actually bought it. So I managed to find it. It was really hard to find, too. So, yeah, my number 2 is Guyver.
Okay. All right. Jack, what's number 2 on your list?
My number 2 is a movie I'm not sure if you guys have seen called Jumper.
I saw it.
Is that the one with Hayden Christensen in it?
Yep.
That's what I thought. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I like this movie. I thought they could have done a sequel. They never did. I think they should reboot it. I think it would do a lot better now than it did when it came out, because the superhero genre is a lot bigger today. It's like one of the biggest in the world. And it's all about this guy, and they can teleport to different places. And they're kind of like assassins and stuff, and I think it could really work.
Okay, interesting. All right, number 2 on my list is, well, it's a guilty pleasure of mine, but it really is a bad movie, and it's a pity that this is the one that drove Sean Connery out of Hollywood for good, and that is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Now,
It wasn't a good movie.
No, it wasn't. But you know what? I watched this film, and even though it's not good, I consider it a guilty pleasure. And I see so much potential in this film that I do think this could work as like a Marvel-style series of movies. You know, we have one film where you introduce Alan Quartermain, another where you have Dorian Gray, another would just introduce a couple of these characters and then bring them together in a Avengers style. And I think this could work because a literary team of characters joining up to fight a group. And, there's something to it. I think this film could work. I think this could be a fun series if done properly. So yeah,
Alan, and what's his name? The guy who wrote it, Alan Moore. He's already disavowed it. So you can do whatever hell you want with it at this point.
He's disavowed every adaptation of his work, hasn't he?
He's just a grumpy beard with eyes.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think League of Extraordinary Gentlemen could work as a film. Give it a second chance. Get a better team writer, younger Alan Quartermain, another set of actors. And I think this could work. I think it could work. Okay. So here we go. Number 1. Let's do this. Colton, what is number 1 on your list?
Okay, so everyone here has mentioned Assassin's Creed, and it almost made my list, but then I swapped it out for another video game movie, and it was the one that started it all, the one that began the trend of video game movies suck, and that was Super Mario Brothers. But here's the thing. I don't think they should. I actually think they could do exactly what they did originally, but what they could do is actually make it just another adventure in Mario and Luigi's lives. Like, don't act like it's their origin or whatever. Just have it be them being in this weird, bizarre world fusion of the Mushroom Kingdom and Brooklyn, New York. And I think there could actually be a lot of fun to have with it. As opposed to, like, part of the problem with the original film is that, they tried to act like, hey, this is their origin and everything, and it just didn't work. But if it's like, hey, if it's another day in the life of Mario and Luigi, there could actually be a lot of fun with it, and acknowledging some of their past adventures and the changes and everything could actually be fun to explore and what have you. I mean, yeah, there'd be a lot of work to make sure going into that to make sure that it doesn't suck, but it could have a lot of potential to be creative. So yeah, number 1 on my list is Super Mario Brothers.
Okay, all right, Chris, you've just made it in time. We are just getting to our number 1.
Yes. Okay, guys. Yeah.
So I'll get to you in just a moment for that. So Mike, let me come to you next. What's number 1 on your list?
All right, Paul, I would be shocked if our number 1 is not the same. Because my number one, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Movie was freaking awesome. Shut the hell up, Chris. It was amazing. The box office that it took in was not nearly enough to sustain the franchise, but it deserved so much more.
And thank goodness it was a dumpster fire.
Chris,
Chris, you just came in. Don't make us kick you out already.
Yeah. Come on. You just joined. I'm already muting you. Come on, dude.
So, it is. I mean, there's so much franchise. Shut up. There's so much franchise to be built on, and there's so much cool action. The big robots, dinosaurs. What's not to love? That one deserves a reboot above all else. Chris, shut up.
Sure.
All right. Well, Chris, I'm going to come to you. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go through your entire list, but what is the number one film on your list that you feel deserves a bomb but deserves a second chance?
Okay, I'm not going to give any reasons. I'm just going to give very little reasons. Very quickly, I'm going to skip through my 5 choices. Number 5 was John Carter. If anyone knew that was a Disney film that came out in 2012 that was based on Edgar Rice Burroughs. Tarzan created Edgar Rice Burroughs' science fantasy series. 4, Superman Returns. You know how I feel about that movie. Number 3, Terminator Salvation.
That was on my list.
Yeah. Number 2, Justice League. And number 1, Green Lantern. Yes, that deserved that was a movie that was totally deserving of a second chance because it could just skyrocket the DC universe, but they had to. It's just like a weird decision. They made Parallax into a giant yellow turd cloud, whatever it is. Ryan Reynolds was okay, but they're trying to make him DC's Tony Stark. I made a decision my playbook, and just the acting, it's just the story was thin. The acting was okay, but when all that story was unremarkable, it has this is the richness of this the grandeur of Green Lantern core. The whole comics is just it's like they just didn't convey it, and it just didn't pull off right in my eyes. But that was totally deserving of a second chance. So it's basically DC Star Wars, but. Somewhere along the line, we'll get a film, but this is one that really deserved. It deserved. It really deserved. People. It was certainly deserving of a
better reception.
But not just better reception, to be better adapted. You know, they had the right talent to just didn't pull off. And it is really good.
Well, you might get it soon. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what that is? I actually think Ryan Reynolds has the personality to be an effective Hal Jordan. He just needs a better script to work with.
Yes, I agree.
And an actual suit to wear.
And you had the guy who directed 2 James Bond films at the helm. It's just like I didn't get it right, but just didn't.
I'd rather see Jon Stewart.
I'd rather see Kyle Rayner.
Why not all of them? Like how many Earth-based Green Lanterns are there now?
Now there are like 5.
All right, Jack, what's number 1 on your list?
My number 1 is Fantastic Four Stick.
That movie.
I'm proud of the fact I've never seen that.
I paid movie money to see it, and I laughed through the entire third act.
I
It was that bad.
On demand. And
Say that again.
I think my brain hasn't recovered.
This movie is horrible. At first, you're watching it for the first hour or so, and it's okay. And you're like, well, I wonder what all the crap is about. And then the second half happens, and they skip over the best part, which is them learning their powers. And then they go to the most ridiculous third act ever, where Dr. Doom is walking around blowing people's heads off. But then when he has the fight with the Fantastic Four, he's punching them. Just blow their freaking heads off and be done with it. No, he just doesn't have that power for that fight. It is horrible.
Victor, there is only Doom.
You watch the first half of the movie and it's like, where's all the crap that they're talking about? Then you
Yeah.
see all the crap that they're talking about.
And it's available for streaming on Disney Plus. Is anybody watching it?
No.
No.
Well,
It makes the old
if I can
fight
watch it
film
for
look like
free,
an
then
Oscar
maybe I'll
winner.
go and see what all the
I'm
crap is.
glad I saw it for free in theaters.
Even like the old like Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, they're goofy fun.
Yeah,
They're not good.
They had
They're
to
not good. Yeah, they're not good, but they're goofy
I'd rather
fun.
watch those again.
I'd rather watch the Roger Corman Fantastic Four. I'm just kidding. Nobody's gonna watch that. Nobody's
No.
gonna watch that. No.
No one's ever seen it.
Almost made my list, but I changed my mind.
All right.
Who
All right.
wants to see the thing as a giant turd?
No. Okay. So number 1 on my list. No, Mike, it's not Power Rangers. Although it probably should have been on my list at some point, but it's actually a film that no one probably, I don't think any of you guys have even remember even existed. It was in 2006 children family comedy, Tim Allen comedy called Zoom.
I remember that, but I didn't see it.
He was a teacher of like a bunch of like superpowered people.
Yes, and this film was absolutely fucking atrocious. But I think the problem with that is the real story actually existed in the first 5 minutes when you learn about the first Team Zenith that Tim Allen was a part of when he was younger with his brother and the other kids. That's the real story to me. Like, fuck these kids, fuck these new guys. I want to know what happened to this team. They rushed through that in like 30 fucking seconds. They're like, whoa. This is the real story. I want to know what happened to this. How did these kids learn about how hard did they fight crime? What happened to Connor that corrupted him? You know, I mean, give us more of these details. That's what I want to see. So I think if they redid this film, but took that first 5 minutes and extended it into a full-length film, that would be an interesting film to watch. And I think that would have made the rest of the film with these new kids and Tim Allen dealing with his depression and whatnot, that would have made it more relatable because he comes off as just an asshole for most of that film. And you don't really get a clear picture as to why. I mean, you know why, but it's not handled well. So I would like to see this film get redone, but make the first 5 minutes into the first film and then give the sequel what happens to the rest of it. That I want to see.
Paul, I think the main problem was that they had made the same movie the year before much better.
Honestly. That's what I was going to say. Does anybody remember Sky High?
I never saw it.
Yes, I remember it very well. Thank you very much.
Wait,
I was just about to mention. Before you put that thing up, I said I was just about to mention it.
Paul, you've never seen Sky High?
What?
You've never seen Sky High?
No, that looked like a stupid fucking movie.
Checking to see. It stars Daniel Panabaker.
Yeah, I read about that. I'm like, oh, maybe I should check it out because she's fucking hot.
And it has
probably was like 12 at the time. So
on Disney Plus.
All right, I'm gonna have to go check it out. But yeah, number one on my list is Zoom. I think that deserves a second chance. Give us 2 films, one with the first team and then the second with the new team. I think that'll work just fine. All right, guys. So that is going to wrap up our show. That's going to wrap up episode 162. Colton, thank you very much for being here.
I'm glad I was able to be a part of this one. I had a good time.
Jack, it was a pleasure having you here. Do us all a favor and come up with 5 goddamn movies next time.
It was great to be here, but I really feel like I need to brush my teeth now from all those awful movies.
Now just drown it out with some liquor. All right, Chris, I know you were late, but thank you very much for being here.
It's great to be here in the last half. Great. I just narrowly made it, but glad to. I didn't know I was here for the whole show, but still glad to be doing this with you guys.
All right, Mike, my man, it was a pleasure having you here.
Always great to be here.
Yeah.
One day we will get.
Yeah.
I want to see them get a. I want to see that film get a sequel.
Yeah. I was here for the last half, but it's still great to be here.
I wanted the Green Ranger story arc so bad.
Please. Okay. And then, so make it happen, Hasbro. Make it happen. Okay. And
Don't make
guys,
it.
Fuck you, Chris. I don't know what you said, but fuck you. Okay. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. We will see you next time.
For more Power Rangers.
Yeah. No. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
My ears are burning. I think my ears are burning.